Okay, and yep, that's live. Sweet. So, welcome everybody. We've got a nice full house here. A couple more I know are coming back. Hope people are bouncing around. We're pinging. We're sending out the Discord, channels and everything. Hopefully everybody comes in. I'm joined tonight by Isiah Xavier Bradley, flawed artwork extraordinaire. This guy has done so many art pieces for us at this point. Saved me in a couple of cases where I was really in a bind. We're going to talk about some of those different things, the whole history of working together. I really want to kind of get into it and talk about that. I also want to say, super quick side note, and this probably won't happen, but I just spent a week with my nephew whose name is Brantley, and I'm so positive I'm going to at some point flub it up, but I hope I don't. So yeah, welcome. I'm super excited to have you on. We've done a couple of these artist sort of interview, decompress, breakdown type things in the past. Usually like to start off, I just want to ask kind of an open-ended question, like what got you started in art? What's your background in art? How are you trained? What's your deal? Where'd you come from?
Oh gosh, okay. So I grew up in a little town called Cheltenham. It was just in the outskirts of Philadelphia at the time. And I remember when I was a kid, I would see my brother and my father, and my father would just be painting at his canvas, and my brother would be sketching the sketchbook out, just like, that looks like fun, I'll give that a go.
Yeah.
I'll give that a shot. So I did that, and I started to draw, and my father really supported me. He even got me the X-Men, how to draw X-Men book.
Oh, nice.
Back in the 90s.
Yeah.
One of those big ones too, So and that, and combined with the comic books and the TV shows I was watching, a lot of cartoons, just really inspired me. Just really wrapped around that world. It was really fun, and I just loved what I could bring out from my mind to the paper. So it was just something that just took over, and I just haven't stopped since.
So,
I really liked it. It was really fun.
So you're just basically like a lifetimer. You pretty much grew up in it. You've been doing it forever.
Yeah, I've been doing it forever. Yeah, and not regret it at all. It's been super fun, and having a lot of a wonderful adventure growing, learning how to get better with my craft, and not only with my craft alone, but mentally as well, because it's just a lot of challenges. Sometimes I'll be oh, I can't draw this, but I would just somehow be able to get back up and keep going at it until I got to the point where I was yes, I can draw this. This is super.
Yeah, that's a very respectable statement that I can definitely feed off that. I feel you when you hit that challenge, that creative challenge. I mean, I'm not out here drawing, but I'm also creating, and you hit that wall and you're just man, how do I fix this? And you got to give it those iterations and sort it out. And I feel that in my soul.
Yes. Anytime you're creating, it's about it's sometimes it's easier, but sometimes it's a little struggle. But you know what? You love it, you'll find a way to get it.
Yeah, that's awesome. To kind of double dip on that question, and you kind of already mentioned this, because the art you've done for us and the art that I've seen, through your pages and just the different stuff that you're always working on. I mean, it definitely has a certain style. You've definitely leaned into that whole comic book cartoon sort of space. At least, again, with what I've seen. Was that just you got that one X-Men book bought for you and you never looked back? Or, is there more to that?
X-Men was the only thing that inspired me for sure. Actually, I would have to say that it was the last couple of years that really my art style started to change a little bit. The pieces you haven't seen have been more of a realistic fantasy kind of vibe.
Okay.
And I've been really getting into that because I guess it's just being able to take an image and make it realistic just brings it that much closer to reality,
Right.
And I still love doing comic book art. I'm always going to still do that. It's just now with this new kind of way of doing artwork, it's really intriguing how much further I can push some details and how much more I'm just into it.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to stop drawing comic book art.
Yeah, love it. That's good news for us, because that's what obviously the style we're going for. That's kind of what we're leaning into that. You know what I mean? We really want our cards to pop and have that sort of unique feeling a little bit. Because in all honesty, on the market, there are not games that really do that. It's here and there. in the case of like a DC deck building game or something where the content is literally about those characters, sure. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and that was a decision that we made, and that's ultimately how we ended up eventually crossing paths, which is awesome. Next question, and this one is take the stage. What are you working on right now outside of Flawed? You got anything going on that people can kind of see? Like, what are you doing?
I am currently coming up with a master plan of like current projects to work on for this new upcoming year. Nothing right now at this point, but it's a lot of like planning because right now I'm just trying to finish off the commissions I have right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I already have a couple ideas I would definitely have in mind to work on in the incoming year. If you see on my Instagram page, I did like I did bio pages, which is basically
Yep.
when they show the character and its panels would show like important parts of their life, you know?
Yeah.
And that was like one of the favorite like projects I come up with. Or I did one for the Pink Power Ranger and
Yep.
Storms.
Yep.
Like the other, I'll probably start doing my original characters to show them as well. That's definitely one of the projects I definitely want to be working on for sure. Because I haven't seen anyone do a piece like that where it shows like these important chapters of a character's life, and they're all displayed on this one piece. I want to do that.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I'll probably do.
I saw both of those that you posted, and I really liked the Storm one. I thought there was like a lot of really cool, like, because of the way you're kind of stacking the frames and like creating all the, you're making like a really elaborate comic page basically, but like a giant version with all the, and then there's all this like interaction between the images and the way that there's like movement. Like when you're looking at it, your eyes want to go everywhere, Really, yeah, I really like that one. That one was really cool. Kathy just said in the chat, I'm just going to read you the exact quote. Oh, good, he's free to do more Flawed. Ha 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 ha. Love it, love it. I'm trying to pull up real quick. This shouldn't be this hard for me to do. I am trying to find your Instagram so I can put it in the Discord chat real quick for everybody. Do you? So Instagram.com/ what do you know, like off the top of your head?
Yeah, it's Isiah
Underscore XB. Lowercase. Is the first I uppercase?
Yes.
Okay. I just tossed it in there just in case anybody wants to know, but I was on my Instagram trying to find the link, and I'm like doing 10 things at once, but no, you're good. All right, so I want to start getting into some of these art pieces you've done for us. I'm going to tell a super small story, and you could correct me if I got this a little bit wrong, but I remember months and months and months and months ago, we were about to print our first demo to go to MomoCon. And we were missing like one artwork, and I was talking to you about doing something. I think we were going back and forth, and I was like, I might have some budget next month or something like that. I kind of wasn't quite ready for you, and then I sent you a message, and I'm like, listen, I'm missing an artwork. Can you make me something in like 5 days or something? And you were just like, yeah, let's do it, and you did it. And many of the people in this channel are going to recognize this card immediately. It is the artwork for Drown, and this card. Not only is the card inside of the game one of the most like defining cards in this first set release that we're going to be doing, but the artwork has just become like synonymous with Flawed. Like when people see that, they're just like, oh, I've seen that before. I know, like I saw that on a banner, I saw that on advertisement, I saw that on a t-shirt. It's huge. Tell me how it was from your side, because like I said, that was me coming to you basically begging for a piece of artwork. There you go.
Over the pandemic, I was reading and I was studying how to develop mood. And when you told me what this card was, I was like, okay, what can I do to really make this impactful? And I just really like using dramatic lighting, and you can really utilize it to really tell a story. And honestly, that's why I always think when I'm working on pieces is how to tell a story. And some illustrations have more going on in it, some of them have less going on in it, but you can still tell a story. And this one, I just remember that I wanted to feel cold and dark, like I remember watching movies and somebody like fall in the water and they just fall all the way down. You always just get this sense that they're like in this big massive space that's dark and cold.
Yeah.
You know?
And the light's just going away, like they're running out of light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's why like if you look at this illustration, like where the soldier is with the spear,
Mm-hmm.
they put like a little bit of line like right there as being focused, because you know, adding those small details to it, and I feel like if you can manipulate all of that, then you can really tell a good, significant story with an illustration.
And I agree 100%. And again, for the players who know the story about the unseen city and how the underwater spearmen like guard these portholes and like all of that is in the image, but then you took it to those next steps where, like you said, you've got that encroaching darkness around the edges. The blood was a really nice touch because like that's really showing like, okay, he just got poked. He's not doing so great, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing that honestly like made me weak the first time I saw like kind of like the finished like colors and everything was the little bubbles. Like that last breath like coming out, I was just like, okay, all right, I'm done. Yeah. It was this, like I said, this has become such a classic. So many people. I mean, we've got people talking about it in the chat right now. Icy Feeney just posted his signed glossy print that we sent out to some of our Patreons. It's got my signature on it. He says, the real question is, when can I get Isiah to sign this so I can frame it and hang it?
Well, it will happen.
Yeah, at some point. We're going to figure that out someday. Griffin says, let's see, 9 breaths should have been stabbed guy swimming back up for round 2. Oh, wow, yeah, just go crazy with it. That would have been a lot. Yeah, that would have been a lot. Love the blood. No idea how to draw blood in water. It looks so good. Yeah, that's Kathy's saying that just the way that it's, you know, you can see the trail almost. It's everything about this card, instant classic. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for putting it on one of our cards. Oh, nice. You're gonna have to talk to a couple of these guys in this Discord channel. They're very interested in getting your name on some stuff. Trying to remember what I put second. What did I put second? Oh man, where's my file? I don't want to spoil it though. Okay. Oh, I didn't name them. I named them stream file 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's think.
Behind door number 2.
Yeah. So I think that this is the shrine. We contacted you about. I'm just gonna click and we'll see what we got. Yeah, boom. Contacted you about doing a nighttime, daytime sort of combination, same piece with like a little bit of different focus, and then, you know, sort of the lie and the truth. And I'm not gonna go into this whole story because like these guys in the channel have heard this one 1,000 times, and I mean we've done a lot of work with this, but from your side on like with the art, like what's it like to take sort of the same image, the same scene, and twist it 2 different ways? Adding different details to kind of create the 2 different final products.
Well, okay, so one was at nighttime, and it was about illustrating a dark act happening, you know, or a secretive act,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it does come down to storytelling again. Between the 2, this one I feel like actually it's actually pretty. Honestly, all of them were fun to work on, but this one I had to learn how to do detail without doing too much detail.
Sure.
Because it was a lot of like stonework, but
Yep.
I learned how to make it work along with imagery. Like you can see like here on the side, right hand side of the image, it is in shadow, and it's not like you can see some details, but it's not like as popping out at you as
Right.
like, the parts of
Right.
the light.
And the coloration for the most part, it's almost flat washes on most of it because that's kind of just in the shadow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This one I usually struggle with night scenes, but like I said, I've been studying storytelling, and I try to be observant when I'm like walking around the neighborhood, and I notice like when it's nighttime, like you don't see every single detail on the building. You
Right.
know, like if it's like highlighted in light, then you're going to see a little bit more.
Sure.
And with that, I was able to get that dramatic lighting from the room and
Yeah.
give it a cool feeling, with like more blues, but like just a tint of it. And I feel like that's what accomplished this vibe of it being so like mysterious, dark,
Yeah.
spooky, whatnot. Like no one's going to know. We're hiding in shadow, So I feel like that for sure helped me put this piece together.
Right.
This is one of the that took me the quickest to do because I was really in it.
Yeah. When I give you artwork and it's not an emergency scenario, you still just work so fast. So, but all that you just said is kind of juxtaposed with this second version. I'm gonna click over so that everybody can kind of see it. We've slid the scope over a little bit, right? We're looking at the front steps now. Same building, the light of day coming from kind of the opposite direction. Little bit of a different perspective, but now you've got kind of this is meant to be the sort of false puppet, mayor or government official or whatever out here, basically telling everybody, hey, it's okay, don't worry about what's going on, and yeah, this is completely different look. So like, what when you're doing this, like what do you switch up? Like what's the different strategy when you approach this?
Brightness for sure and warmth.
Okay.
I feel like warmth and brightness definitely gives off a different mood than the cool kind of like dark kind of like vibe in that last piece.
Yeah, sure.
Like this one's here is like this piece is about him like speaking to people, hopefully about the truth, but speaking about the truth to these people, and they're all gathered, and they like we have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
So it's about like attention to details again. Yeah, and honestly, that was just pretty much it. Just really incorporating your feeling in it.
Right.
Like try to like be self-aware of what you're feeling when you're trying to develop this mood, or when you're like in this like certain
Right.
Like movies will really show you like how to like develop that mood, and I feel like that's what helps me with this, like the warmth and the light.
That's a great point, and just from like hearing you say it makes me look again, and I'm like, oh, yeah, definitely. And even when you look at the sort of the little congregation that's out in front of the steps here, like even their colors and what they're wearing and their postures and their perspective and like they're focused and everything is just, it's this like, it's a little bit of a sense of community. It's a little bit like normalized and okay,
Yeah.
Awesome. We love them. We love them all. The next one I have, I actually know what it is, or I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I hope I know what it is. I might have messed up. How many do I even? We're gonna click. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, it is quite the trip down memory lane. So I don't think every single art you've done is included in this little slideshow I made here. I tried to highlight some of the unique ones. This one was unique from my side because we've never done anything like this where a single scene, like a single, piece of storytelling is split between two cards. And like the Hall of Shadows that we just looked at, that's just two versions of the same thing. This is two very different cards doing something, they go together. Like in the gameplay, they go together. That's fine. But like this is two totally different cards with this giant scene playing out. What was it like working on that? I'll start with what's it like working on that as far as like the challenges of making it make sense with the centering and like all of that. Like how did you face that?
Oh, well, okay. The way I handled this was like first off, I just took the card size,
Mm-hmm.
like I put them both together in a file, and then I just expanded it a bit, so as talked about giving it more space so that it
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And
For
like a lot of editing, like before I started doing this professionally, it was like a challenge for me to go ahead and keep doing the edits and see, oh, I have to control this thing. But now it's like, if it's not telling the story right, if it's not looking right, so I had to adjust it a couple of times. But the size is mostly because if I made that guy too small, then it would have looked awkward. If
Right.
one of them just looked too big and then one looked too small, it just looked awkward. So it's about just like looking at the picture as a whole.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I think that artists forget to zoom away from the image and to look at it as a whole.
Right.
And when you do that, it's so much more easier for you to read it and to point out what's working and what's not working. Honestly, I keep saying I had a lot of fun because I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's good. I love to hear that. Like, you're not the only artist. I've had a couple of different artists who, like, I'm talking to them and we're going through edits and this, that, and the other, and like, every once in a while, one of the artists will just be like, "Man, I'm actually like into this piece. Like I'm really feeling this and like doing my thing." And like I've had a couple of those moments, and it's super rewarding from my side to be like, you know, I'm just asking you to do a job at the end of the day. Really, that's what it is. But then you buy in and you're like, hey, I actually like this one, you know? Like, that always feels so good. No. I was just going to say the chat is kind of like going crazy. I'm just going to hit a couple of these comments real quick. Yeah. I don't know how easy it is to get like 4 things going on at once on an iPad screen. I got the double monitor. That's the only reason I can see it. But up here we've got Griffin and Sticker are talking back and forth about taking this artwork and because it's double wide, putting it on a playmat to like actually put it on your play space where that is like the wide scene that you bring to the table to like play your cards on top of. So this is tailor-made for that type of thing.
Oh, that's a good idea. I would not mind doing that printing as a thing. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then Icy Phoenix says, we're glad you're having fun. More reason to keep making sweet art. That's awesome. Stick Girl says, the purple in this. Yeah, that was one of the things I actually wanted to touch on. That pink, purple, lilac hue in the lightning. When you said that, I was like, that's not what you're supposed to draw. That's not what it's supposed to be. Why is it so good?
It's my power to say what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I actually had with the comes to lightning, I drew a lot of lightnings. You know, first off, I love storms.
Yep.
So I'm gonna draw a lot of lightning, period. But I just like this time I was like, I don't want to do blue. Blue's already done. And then I was thinking in this piece about how there's so much blue already in this piece, and like what can stand out? Well, red can stand out by one like vibrant red. So I was thinking along the lines of something warm to put in the lightning that would help it stand out, to give it a little more oomph. And honestly, this is just me playing around with the color, and then I was like, let me just go a little more purple, you know, see how that works. And it's like, don't be afraid to like experiment with elements, with colors that sometimes you'll see, sometimes you won't see, you know? Like,
Yeah.
What would happen if I put a little orange in there too? Maybe it would have made it a little bit more vibrant. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I would totally try it out next time. It's like I was really in the mindset of like, what can I do to make this light really pop?
Right.
This beautiful, like cool, like image. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it does that color because Stickers even say that you made the color gray look beautiful, right? You've got this like the general tone here is just blues and grays for days, like you said, and then you go now. Hang on, let's slap this purple lightning basically all around the edges, all through the art, and just like get it all in there. And now you've got this palette that is just like awesome, absolutely awesome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Again, thank you. I feel like I got to keep saying that, but it's like, you know, having all these on our cards, like when you slap these down, like when I was in New York, one of the things I was doing was actually going around and showing some people the product, right? That was like something I got a chance to do, and so often people pick up a card, drown, you know, whatever card it happens to be, they latch onto one and they're just like, wow, the artwork in this game is like so great. And I really think that bounces back from the fact that it is predominantly in a style that people don't see on game pieces that often, and they're kind of experiencing something for the first time, like that they probably should have already. You know, they probably should be looking at some comic books or some things in that vein already. You know.
I love it. I love this style. And it's like I grew up with like the 90s, 80s comics, especially because of my dad, and I love like the detail and the ink work.
Yes.
The color just amped it up. Like,
Yep.
Jim Lee was one of my favorite artists for sure when it came to him drawing the X-Men.
Right.
I just couldn't help myself.
Yeah. And that's a worthwhile thing to comment on, is like when you and I are going back and forth and you're sending me, you know, here's a sketch, here's the inks, here's the color. We're going through all these phases. Most of the people in the chat here don't get to see all those steps, but most of the time when you send me the inks and I see all those lines and all those dark areas, I'm already in my head, I'm like, okay. I see what's going on. And again, it's you and a bunch of the other artists that we work with. That's one of the things I look for. I think that the inking and the proper use of the blacks and those deep dark areas and the hatching and the shapes and the highlights and the reverse, the negative color in between, and like all of that, being able to put all that in. And I mean, you've got plenty of classic examples of that going on in these pieces we've been looking at right here. That is something that I am most attracted to in this style of artwork. Like that's the part that really, really speaks to me.
It makes me happy that you guys are enjoying my work.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's see, we got a couple more comments. Oh, they're just going back and forth about who's more powerful in the channel. They're trying to delete each other's messages. Great.
It's the war.
Yeah. So let me double check. I'm going to try to not mess up. So we're on street file number 4. 1, 2, okay, I got 4 images left, and I know what the last 4 are because the last 4 are all new content. This is stuff that you and I have been working on for a little while, back and forth. But I've been saving it. I've been holding it from them until I was going to have you online, because that way we can kind of do it all, right?
Yeah, I hear you. Good job holding it on.
Oh yeah. So the first thing, and I want to do a little bit of an introduction for this first piece. Okay, many of the people in this chat have seen our demo product. They have seen like the different cards and art that we have. It's all posted on the website. We've got an art gallery on the website where every artist is featured. We've got all the cards posted up there. We have our demo product printed live. I've been touring all over the country trying to get people to look at this thing. I want to take a quick second and say that I will never disparage an artist. I will never speak poorly about the work that somebody else did. But a long time ago, when I started this project, it was tough to get going. And our very first art that we ever acquired, I've kind of had to make the tough decision to say that this art really doesn't hold up to the standards like where we've ended up. It saddens me to say that. It's not that the art is necessarily bad. It's just that the style was a little bit off. The content was a little bit off. I think that when I hired it just doesn't line up perfectly. And I want to make a perfect product. So I talked to you recently. This was maybe, again, kind of an emergency. I said, hey, I got limited time. It just keeps happening. So we've got this new art. This is for the card Root Tender. This is, and this is another reason that I've kind of made the decision to go ahead and replace this art piece. This card is one of the absolute marquee cards for the Earth faction. This is like one of the cards that most specifically sort of defines what the Earth faction is about. And I really wanted it to be amazing. So naturally I went to Isiah and said, hey, can you help me out? Can you get me a new piece of artwork? I'm going to click over so they can see the artwork.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me what it was like. How did, what was your process going through making this? I gave you some prompts, but not a ton. I basically was just like, hey, I need a girl fixing a tree, right? Like that was basically it.
Doing this piece, I usually just always start off by looking at the references, but I also go through I go through my thoughts and be like, okay, what is it that I'm trying to convey here? What is it that I need to look for that will give me that kind of vibe, And I started looking through pictures of the forest and woods, and I went through them, and I found this one that has this nice, beautiful, teal green kind of vibe, where it's very peaceful. And I wanted to accomplish that because with this Earth tribe, or Earth faction, I wanted to make sure that it was giving that. What was the purpose of this card was her to tend to this tree that's been badly hurt and damaged.
Right.
So first off, I wanted to give a nice magical kind of essence of the forest. And I wanted to make sure the tree that was hurt, that it looked like it was hurt. So I had a tricky time trying to make that Uzi stuff look ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kept coming out pretty.
I know.
Not supposed to be pretty. We just throw some ugly colors in there somehow. I don't know, but I just started to play with it, and it just came together about being really connected to Earth. I like to go on hikes, and I like just to sit back and just be still, and look around everywhere, and just enjoy the view. And that definitely helped me with this piece here, because I've now been experiencing that and going on hikes. I was able to transfer that to this piece.
Awesome.
And to add the natural magics of this world, like beautiful like fireflies and such like that. Like
Right.
People like have those put in this piece here, and the crown. Like I was really inspired by that piece you sent me with that big guy.
Yeah.
That was him. I was really inspired, and I like this crown. I was like, well, she's gonna have a crown.
Nice. Love it. So.
Like having fun, and I really just it was really fun to work on this piece. Oh,
That's what it looks like now.
yes. Oh,
Whatever we get them printed, because this is pending right this moment. But yeah, so you made reference to the Fierce Protector, and I sent you the picture of the Great Oak, like after the sword has been removed. Megan Toole did that one for us, and that's another example of, it's kind of like you said, hey, I want to make this ugly, but it's like hard. Like her infected tree, in my opinion, is also like beautiful. It's like a beautiful piece of art. Like the colors that she chose and everything, it looks really nice. And you honestly, you came right into that vein and said, let me make this like, you got this glow in the background. You've got like all these colors and layers, and just like, it's a very peaceful and beautiful setting. And the root tender is doing her, her magics on this tree to try to get it in better shape, essentially. Okay, chat's going crazy again. Let me look. So, Elite PVG says, I wish I had these prints on my wall. They are absolutely amazing. The root ooze, good carryover. Yeah, from the tree that I had sent you. That's awesome. The nighttime showcasing the phosphorescent plant life is tight. Yeah, love it. Super awesome. Call me Great Oak because that art heals my depression for 4. Okay, that's what the card does. Heals for 4. Awesome. Isiah should sign some. Hell yeah, Isiah should sign some. They were hinting at it earlier. Yeah, we're gonna figure something out at some point. We gotta figure something out, because too much of this stuff is too good to have it keep going, by the wayside. But yeah, this one, a lot of the back and forth that you and I were doing on this art was while I was in New York, and I was crazy busy. So I hope that you understand and you appreciate that I was trying to keep up with you and all that. But like every time you sent me something, I'm just like, oh my god, it's perfect. And then I would like forget about it and like leave you on red and be like, oh wait, I gotta message it. So I was trying my best. Yeah.
I'm just glad you got back to me so I can get it done for you in time.
Awesome, yeah.
Definitely one of my favorite pieces, actually. Yeah, for sure.
We've got one more. We've got one more brand new one that no one has seen before, and a couple of the people in this channel may have been hinted at that root tender was coming. They might have known that somebody was working on this. Not necessarily you, but someone. So when they saw the new root tender, they were like, okay, yeah, we know. But this next card, nobody has a clue what it is, that it was even on the agenda to be done anytime soon, etc. So how long has it been? Maybe about a month since we were working on this one, give or take?
I don't remember. I've done so many cards.
That's the best. That's the best answer. That is the best answer, and I'll take it. Do we really need to know exactly the date you finished? No, we don't. So I am gonna put down a bold statement, because at this point I think we're on about 35 unique art assets for the game so far across all artists. We're somewhere in that vicinity between 30 and 40. This next one that I'm about to click on, the first time I saw it, and it was done. Because if you remember, you added like one more thing at the end. And when I saw it and it was done, I'm just like, this is immediately like in my top 2, top 3. Like it was automatic just into the top of like echelon for me. The things that I look for might be different than the things other people look for, but again, all that black, all that inking that you put into it, that's what gets me. So, I'm gonna click over.
I kind of went like,
I think he forgot. I think he forgot he did this. So this is the artwork for Cleanse. This character is having some evil wrongdoing just blasted off of her by her strength, her conviction, her power, her, inner sense of self-worth, whatever you want to worship, so to speak. She is just calling it down and completely blasting this just purple, dark, evil stuff off of her. I don't remember what I asked you to make, but you came to this. So what was your advent? Well, tell us about your journey of coming to this piece, because this one is it just kills me.
I remember when I got the idea of this purple gooey stuff trying to attach itself to her, and I remember I was talking to you about Samurai Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And I was probably watching that when I was painting this, to be honest. But it's about Samurai Jack, and his sword could destroy Aku. And when Aku was being, destroyed by the sword, there was little pieces of him being blown to bits. You know, it was burning away. So with that inspiration, I was thinking, oh, okay, so I can have some kind of evil source or something like that that's wrapped around her, and she's blasting it off. You can see the smaller pieces that are close to her that are just breaking apart.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And the bigger chunk parts are farther away from her. I really wanted to show that the power coming down from her was coming from her or the deity that she worshipped.
Right.
And that icky stuff was not a part of that. This thing was trying to grab her and consume her, but she wouldn't let it.
Right.
So she used the strongest parts of her will just to blast that thing off. And I really want to show that even if you're going through some dark times, or you are in a toxic environment, that that you have this power and this resilience that can overcome it, and you just have to believe in that. And then she just taps into it and just blasts it off. I always try to include something that, like I said, that my feels are in each one of these pieces.
Yeah.
My feels in here, and it helps me really accomplish the story I'm trying to illustrate.
Right.
That's definitely one of my favorites, and I think this one of my favorite factions too, because they travel around, and random things. It's ooh, this means I could just come up with some crazy stuff.
And that was one of the things that I noticed, because you did the Call Lightning side of the double artwork. I said, hey, let's make it a light faction character, and you just kind of cobbled together all these little pieces and bits and styles and this and that, and then you did it again, because this is clearly a light card at this point, and she's doing her light activity or whatever you want to call it. At the same time, you've got all these different little assets, and the idea, for those of you who aren't super catching up on it, the light faction is they have the largest expanse of territory on the continent of all the different factions, and they are the most spread out. So in order to do that, they basically have to they're full survival mode, right? They're anytime I can find something useful, I'm going to keep it, I'm going to use it. Let me upgrade my equipment every time I get the chance, and they don't care about how it looks or all that type of stuff. It is 100% about function, and this is just a great sort of combination of all these little knickknacks and pieces and parts, and it all comes together, and then you got this character who then, in the setting, like you said, just exploding out of the artwork and exploding out of the whatever entrapment it was that she was trying to get herself into. Just awesome. Oh, Stickgirl just posted a statement, and with that, Isiah is the first and only artist so far to do an art for all the Flawed factions. Yeah, historic moment is what Griffin says. Put him on the bingo board. Yeah, that's a big deal. I'm embarrassed that I didn't notice it. I guess Kathy was looking it up on the website as we were talking. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a super sweet thing to realize. That's really, really cool. Yeah. So, I haven't even. God, I'm so busy looking at the art. There it is on the card. There it is on the card. It's just get it off of me, right? Just absolutely get it off of me. Awesome artwork all around, awesome cards all around. Like this has been an awesome journey. Like with you, there you know, when you click on flawedcardgame.com and you go to the artist gallery, like your section's getting pretty meaty. There's a lot in there. It's you know, it's safe to say that you've definitely put your mark on this game at this point. Like the fans, you know, the handful of people who got in the Discord tonight watching, like they love it. They love what you're doing, and we really appreciate it. Like it's awesome to, you know, kind of just slowly build this relationship and figure out how to take your really good talent and put it onto a little bit of story that we're trying to tell with our cards, and then it all comes together. And I mean, you get stuff like this.
It's just been awesome, an awesome adventure, and I'm so excited to be a part of this company, be a part of the Flawed Card Game family.
Oh yeah. It is, yes, it is so comic book. I love it. Oh yeah, so Isiah says something about the yellow in the card frame is giving me a real big, we ripped this out of an actual comic book vibes. That is such a great look. I don't know if anybody has any final questions in the chat. Go ahead and post them. If you've got any final comments, anything you want to kind of wrap up with as far as, you know, what you think about all these art pieces. There were a couple more that, like I said, I don't think we showed Siege Master, and maybe there's one or two other. I don't know. It's so hard for me to keep track, but
Yeah.
I wanted to hit the high notes. I wanted to hit, you know, some of the really fun ones. The most important. So now that you're in the Discord, if you want to read all that's been going on, you'll be able to click on the stream chat channel even after the fact, and you can scroll up and see it. It'll all be there. Yeah, because we have a separate channel that is permanently documented, whereas you can also set it up where people are chatting directly into the stream, but I don't think that gets cataloged, so we save it all. Yeah. So Griffin says Cleanse is strong contender for best looking card as of now. That's again exactly what I said when I saw it. And then Elite says, can we post the artist's social media? Would love to follow them. They are amazing. Yeah, we can definitely find that. Stick Girl is joining the call. And she's gone. Lovely. we had her for a second, and then she left. So yeah, there's the link for the Insta. You guys can go check them out there. Yeah, I just want to say thank you again for taking the time to set. It's no small task for you to come here, like you said, nervous and excited. You know, all that. I hope we didn't punish you too bad. But.
No.
Nice. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and kind of shut it down there. Again, huge thank you to Isiah for being here. Thanks to everybody that joined. Awesome activity in the chat tonight. A couple people that, I'm just going to call them out. Mr. Rubin never came back. I'm putting him on blast. It's now recorded. It's documented. It happened. Oh, okay. We've actually got a question in the chat. We'll close on this. Rawl says, what faction do you want to do next? Of the 6 factions, which one intrigues? I mean, I know you already said Light's your favorite, but what do you want to do next?
I like to do more fire and maybe more of the earth faction.
Okay.
I feel like those two. I would like to do all of them. Trust me. But, I want to do some.
Yeah.
And definitely try out more for the earth faction because I just love I love nature. Nature is super fun and awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Add magic to it, you're gonna have a blast. So.
Oh, for sure.
What other cards you have? Maybe a devastating earth attack or something like that. I want to see what else is going on.
There are a couple of cards that are on the short list of cards that I think should be getting worked on soon. And there are at least 2 I think that are Earth faction, kind of that are in the discussion. So that could definitely happen. I'll be frank, Fire's already got a good little chunk, so we might not hit that as hard.
That's fine.
We might not hit that as hard soon. And honestly, Light is one of the factions that doesn't have as much because when we made the demo decks, we didn't include Light and Air. We couldn't go crazy with it, right? We had to kind of zero in on some core concepts. So there are definitely going to be some light and some air cards coming up soon here.
Give me an air, please. You know me, I'm gonna take any faction you give me.
Okay, another question, and this one I know why he's asking this. So let me. I'm just gonna. I know his ulterior motives right now, but I'm gonna bounce it off you. Icy Feeney says, "How do you feel about the water faction specifically?" And then he said, "Units that may or may not use the churn card. Churn is one of the cards from the water faction. It was done by another artist, but." I mean, Drom's the only water card you've done so far. Like, what do you think about going a little bit more in depth with the water characters?
I mean, now I love painting water. Water is beautiful. Yeah, I'll definitely be excited to work on some water cards. Yeah, absolutely. Water is one of my favorite things to paint, especially when you can add so much color in the waves of water coming at you. You know, the blues, the greens, the yellows. Always adds like some juicy colors to it. So yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. That's great stuff. Yeah, Stickgirl's putting him on blast. Basically, one of Cam's favorite cards is this character called Talia. She's a epic unit from the water faction, and he's just like he's petitioning to have you do it. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're. Did I get all the questions? Did I miss anybody's question? Because they were yelling at me like I was trying to go too fast. I'm not asking him that on camera. You leave him be. He will get with you afterwards if he's interested.
Follow me on social media. Instagram and Twitter is Isiah_XB.
Same thing everywhere.
My website and my other social media should be linked on your channel as well. So.
Nice, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna shut the recording down. Thank you so much for joining. Again, thank you to the chat, everybody that was here. Great questions, great interaction. Like this thing was just going by the whole time we were talking. I was trying so hard to keep up with it. But I'm gonna shut the recording down. Thank you again. Thank you for everybody coming. Everybody who's watching us on YouTube later on. Thanks for checking out the video. And a final humongous thank you as always to the Patreon support. You guys are paying Isiah basically. That money is going directly from me to him. So thank you. All right.